Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to The Walk. Today is Tuesday, March 4th, and we are up to Ezekiel 37:24. Yesterday, we saw that the two nations of Judah and Israel were going to have their names written on a stick. Both sticks were going to go in one hand. Excuse me, and that would represent the unity of those two nations under one king, and that one king is Jesus Christ, and that we are in a messianic prophecy. It is telling the people about what to expect when the Messiah comes. So that brings us to Ezekiel 37:24, which says, "My servant David shall be king over them." This is still talking about Jesus. "And they shall all have one shepherd. They shall walk in my rules and be careful to obey my statutes." Now, my servant David, there was an interesting note in the ESV Fire Study Bible, which said, the coming Messiah, i.e. the anointed one, Christ, is called David because he would be the descendant of King David, and his coming would fulfill God's promise to David. He would spiritually cleanse Israel, and the people would receive forgiveness and obey God's law. These benefits would be effective through Christ's death on the cross and the work of the Holy Spirit. This is talking about the righteousness that we have through Jesus Christ. You are made completely clean. The Cultural Study Bible had a note about this servant David will be king, and they will follow my laws. And it said, in the Ptolemaic Demotic Chronicle, attempts to explain Egyptian history from 404 BC to the time of its composition through the operation of the law of divine retribution. Only the kings who lived in accordance with the will of the gods prospered. Catastrophes, destructions of cities, and foreign invasions were explained as the consequence of disobedience to the will of the gods. Deliverance of such evils, however, is prophesied in the form of an ideal king in Heracleus, I don't even know how to say that word, who will fulfill the divine law and thereby embody the ideal and perfect just rule. So once again, this is an example of Satan stealing what belongs to God. God is the one that established that there would be this ideal king, and that ideal king would be the Messiah. These pagan, occult practices that were worshiping other gods other than God with a capital G, our God, they would copy that and say that there would be an ideal king who would follow the laws of the gods, and therefore there would be no punishment on the people. Sounds a lot like the gospel, doesn't it? So we've always got to be aware that Satan likes to take the things that belong to God and put a little twist on them. God told us to look for signs in the stars, but yet astrology takes it way over the deep end, and it has become a satanic thing. We've got to be very aware of the fact that putting your faith in the alignment of the stars is not putting your faith in Jesus Christ. Then we get to verse 25, which says, "They shall dwell in the land that I gave to my servant Jacob, where your fathers lived. They and their children and their children's children shall dwell there forever, and David my servant shall be their prince forever. I will make a covenant of peace with them. It shall be an everlasting covenant with them, and I will set them in their land and multiply them. And I will set my sanctuary in their midst forevermore. My dwelling shall be with them, and I will be God, and they shall be my people. Then the nations will know that I am the Lord who sanctifies Israel, when my sanctuary is in their midst forever." So when we look at this and we think this through and really contemplate what it is saying, there are two pieces that are coming out of yesterday's message and today. One is the unity of the people. They are all together. They are all living under one holy king who is Jesus Christ. Secondly, the sanctifications. They are made holy. They are made holy under that king, and the Messiah is that king. Thankfully, we have sanctification when we put our faith and trust in Jesus Christ. The righteousness of Jesus Christ is what God sees when he looks at us. He doesn't see that I goof things up on a regular basis. He sees the righteousness of Jesus Christ when he looks at me. And if you're a follower of Jesus Christ, he sees the same thing when he looks at you. Tomorrow, we're going to get into chapter 30. I'm sorry, not chapter 30, chapter 38. Have a wonderful day. God bless, and keep walking the walk.